Good evening, welcome to Tuesday's Midlands Today from the BBC. Tonight, put the brakes on high-speed rail. That's the word from more than 100,000 people who took their message directly to Downing Street.
They want the government to scrap the project, which could cut journey times to the capital to as little as 45 minutes. The petition's been delivered ahead of a Commons debate on the issue on Thursday.
Many supporters of HS2, including one Birmingham businessman, say it'll boost business and the project is a no-brainer. Kevin Reid has this report.
Downing Street this lunchtime, and probably one of the largest petitions to be handed in this year. In all, 108,000 signatures saying no to the £32 billion plans for high-speed rail. The protesters were joined by 3 Tory MPs, 2 from Warwickshire, who all support the protesters.
There's no business case, there's no environmental case, there's clearly no money to pay for it at this moment in time, and it is simply a fat strain for fat cats, a vanity project which only benefits the richest in society. And yes, there are things that need doing on the railway network. This is not it.
The petition is just one part of this anti-high-speed rail campaign. Another likely to draw far more attention is the possible fielding of parliamentary candidates at the next general election.
They'd be fielded in more than a dozen Tory seats along the route, giving a potential flea in the ear for HS2 supporter David Cameron.
Is that a serious idea?
Absolutely, it's a completely serious idea. Obviously, the 3 MPs that were accompanying us today, we wouldn't dream of standing against those. However, there are MPs who, quite frankly, have let down their constituents.
In reality, HS2 has cross-party support, and for everybody firmly in the no camp, it seems there are as many others in the yes, particularly those in business.
Oh, I think it's an absolute no-brainer, really, to have the connectivity between London and the northwest, northeast, with Birmingham at the sort of times that we're talking about. Then it's very realistic to get customers come and visit you that otherwise would not.
Today's stop at number 10 will be followed by the first debate in Parliament on HS2 this Thursday, and the No campaigners plan to be there too. Kevin Reid, BBC Midlands Today, Westminster.
Well, joining us now from Westminster is the Conservative MP for North Warwickshire and Bedworth, Dan Biles, who's an opponent of HS2, and he secured that debate in the Commons on Thursday. Good evening to you, Mr Biles. Thanks for joining us. Now, we've heard from BSA in that report. They say HS2 will be good for business, good for Birmingham. All businesses seem to think it's a good idea. What do you say to them?
Well, the trouble is a lot of people are making that claim, but what they're not doing is actually producing any economic evidence to back it up. Now, there has been research done on high-speed systems on the continent in France and in Germany that suggests that there's a real danger that economic activity can be drained away from a regional economy like the West Midlands towards the largest centre of mass on a high-speed system, such as, in this case, London. So I'm very concerned that the economic case has not been made. We need to do more research before people can make claims like that.
But these business people in the Midlands, for instance, they're not stupid. They're saying it's a no-brainer. They must have worked out the sort of things that you're talking about.
Well, I'm not sure they have. Now, I'm not accusing them of in any way being stupid. But the fact is, if you simply look at this as a high-level issue, if you say, we must have high-speed rail, it's obviously good, they have it on the continent, it sounds very attractive. But I'm more interested in the hard facts and figures. Now, the Transport Select Committee will be producing a report very shortly, which I'll be very interested to see. Even they, when they commissioned a report from Auxera to look at this, the independent report from Auxera stated very clearly that the government and HS2 Limited are making claims about regional economic regeneration, and they are not providing any evidence to back up those claims.
But are you sure you're not just saying you don't want this in your backyard? Because it's a really tough one for you, isn't it? Your government wants it, you don't because of where you're based, where your constituency is. It's a real dilemma, surely, for you.
No, it isn't. I mean, I've made it very clear that I'm not just opposed to this because of the impact on my constituency. Obviously, that is a big part of it. I represent my constituency. You wouldn't expect me to do anything otherwise. But I'm opposed to this on 3 levels. I don't believe it's in the national interest. I don't believe we can afford £32 billion on such a badly thought-out business case. I'm very concerned regionally about the potential impact. And, yes, I'm very concerned about the impact on my constituency and my constituents. And I make no apologies for that.
Dan Biles, thank you very much.
Thank you.